You got an invite.
I got
Assistant
that, I
Chief.
just didn't know what they were having.
You what?
So
Is there a party tomorrow, Brett?
Cheryl's not.
Yeah, I thought I sent one to everybody.
Well, we know there's a swearing in, but is there a party?
You want to make sure there's a party that goes along with
And
it.
there's not a DJ.
I got a new dress.
Cake and ice cream better be.
Cake and,
I need all the sugar I can get.
or cake and beer.
So I think the long and short of it is, yeah, there's going to be a little reception.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Phone's on vibrate.
What, 6:01, can we call, are you ready? We'll call the meeting to order. If you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
So we have Mrs. Burke. Present.
Carol Festo. She had a medical procedure today and she can't be joining us.
She okay?
She's doing well.
And Lisa Anderson, our treasurer. And our supervisor, Mrs. Miller. We have Tom Clee.
Yes,
who's
ma'am.
Present, and Mrs. Campbell.
Yes. Alrighty, are there any additions or deletions to the evening's agenda? I don't think I have any. Madam Clerk, none? No. We move on to the corrections of the minutes from the regular meeting from January 3rd. Are there any corrections?
No misses.
Okay. Oh, Ms., yes. I was going to say, oh, I understand that. Sorry.
Any corrections to the minutes of the meeting from January 3rd, 2022?
I see none.
No? All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those stand approved. We'll move on to number 6, public comment. If you'd like to address the board, I'd ask that you come to the podium and give us your name, and you'll have 4 minutes to address the board. I guess we can move on.
Wow.
Number 7, reports. I don't have a report for us this evening, I don't think. Move on to treasurer's report. Madam Clerk's report. Do you have a report this evening?
No.
Is there a treasurer report this evening?
No.
Chief report.
Haven't got
I haven't got there yet. I know I usually skip over it, but I didn't, not yet. Do we have trustee reports? I'm going to pull it out of trustee Vert.
Oh,
Does the
Lord.
senior center have a new director over there now?
We do. Or should
Yeah,
is that a
I just noticed the
ghost,
door
or-
was open.
I know, I was like, what? We do. And I thought Pam was going to bring them up to introduce them, so I'll probably have to do that. It's Eileen and Mary. Eileen, I do not know her last name. I don't remember it. She's the director. Mary will be the assistant director. They're both from this area. They live very close to the center.
That'd be great if you could bring them up, or maybe we could go over there, but we'll plan a day where we can meet and
So far,
maybe
it's
get a
going
cup of
really
coffee.
good.
That
It's going
sounds
very
good.
good.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Alrighty, any other trustee reports? I feel short. No, we'll move on to staff reports. Chief Salter. Do we have
I
a
know.
report?
I always let you go first just to see what you're going to say.
Do you have a report for us this evening?
Yes, I do. I actually forgot my notes at my office, but I know we're down to average 273 per day, which is down another 13. Of course, it's getting colder out, which our calls always seem to go down in wintertime. Other than that, there's nothing major that happened at the police department over the last 2 weeks. And there's been 4 structure fires, I know, from the fire department. I couldn't tell you the addresses because that's at my office too, but I got the assistant fire chief here if you guys were wondering what the addresses were for the structure fires.
We can hear from him.
Good, sounds good.
There were 2 structure fires on Flushing Road, 3100 and 3200 block. They were right next to each other. One on the 3100 block of Stafford Avenue and one at 4809 Walnut Peak. Like he said, the weather's getting colder, but unfortunately, the structure fires have increased over the past 2 board meetings, so.
So, Mrs. Tucker, do you have a report for us this evening? So, before we moved on, that's probably going to be your last report helping the fire department, Chief Salter. And so, I just briefly want to state that as of August of 2020, we were looking for a new fire chief and assistant chief. And we needed someone to step in to administrate that department. And I just want to thank you for the work that you did. Didn't complain, and you got the work done. And I think two things happened because of that. You've been able to help bring some structure at the fire department and help Assistant Chief Raleigh in his new position get acclimated, and I appreciate that. I'm sure he appreciates that. And I know that during the last year, we also put into place a fire marshal position, and Fire Marshal Brett Beckley stepped into that, and I know that they both looked at you for some historical and institutional knowledge of the way we do budgets or how we handle policy in general, above and beyond the fire department. So I just want to say thank you very much for stepping in and helping out. I appreciate it. I know the whole board does too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I had a lot of help too from these two individuals here, so it's been a lot harder without them.
And I think even developing a friendship too came out of that too. So
I don't like them.
I know they look up to you as a fatherly figure.
Because of his age. Perfect, I like it.
No, but I'm just trying to say thank you. Now my face is red. Sorry, Kevin.
It's all right.
So, I don't think we have any committee reports, and I didn't mean to get so far out. So, number 8, Madam Treasurer.
We have in the packet the fourth quarterly report, the Treasurer's investment report as of December 31st, 2021. All the changes are highlighted in yellow. As you guys remember, we did some conversions of some of the funds and the bank accounts so that it would be a little bit easier for tracking and those kind of purposes. But other than that, I would just ask that this be submitted into the records for review by the auditors.
Thank you. And 8B, Madam Treasurer?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we approve payment of invoices and the disbursements in the amount of $359,018.18.
Is there a second to the motion to pay the bills in the amount of $35,900? Oh, I didn't say it right. $359,018.18.
Campbell, a second.
Put too many commas in there. Any questions for Madam Treasurer? Hearing none, can you take the roll call, please, for paying the bills in the amount of $359,018.18?
We have Lisa Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Triplett, yes, Mr. Klee,
Yes.
and Ms. Campbell.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
Ms. Vert. Ms. Vert? Oh, no. Oh, yes, you do.
Yes.
Rolling around.
That's right.
Alrighty, do we have any correspondence or informational items? No? Moving on to new business, action item A. Mrs. Tucker?
This is the intergovernmental agreement with Swartz Creek, the city of Swartz Creek, as most of you know. And for the people who don't know, we have been working with the city of Swartz Creek on the trail extension that would run from the Flint Township Park there at Norco Drive by the police station, down Miller Road by Speedway there at Miller and Bristol, and then cross Bristol and go to the Elms Road Park in the city of Swartz Creek. Along the way, it would pass by a new park that they're building called Otterburn Park, which they're gonna have like disc golf and things like that. But this is our agreement with them. We also, this week, and part of the reason why I didn't give a report earlier is we are also working together on a multi-jurisdictional grant with the county. We filed that grant request Friday. We have already are receiving TAP dollars from the state to help pay for this. And this is just saying that we will use portions of these grant dollars to pay for it, and what's left we pay. At this point, the DDA has already committed to up to $40,000. And we're looking at, without receiving any other grant dollars, that the cost to the township would be about $35,000. Depends on what happens and where, if we get more grant dollars. But at this point, that would be the total cost of the township. This is just the agreement so that we can receive the funds from the TAP grant, and that we will get, based on our portion of the trail, we'll get that same apportionment of the dollars.
So in front of us, we have the interlocal agreement, and, trying to pull that up.
We have the contract as well.
Yeah, so we have that, plus we also have this, oh, here it is, interlocal agreement. Yeah, do you want to make the motion?
Anderson moves to approve the intergovernmental agreement for portions of the Genesee Valley Trail Extension and authorize Supervisor Miller and Clerk Triplett to sign the agreement.
We would second that.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Yes.
Okay, this says here that, I know that there was some type of a error in how much the township was going to pay, correct?
I don't know that it was so much error in that we started at one point and things developed, and I know that you'll recall we were at the road commission, you and I, meeting with them without Swartz Creek, and we found out in that meeting that costs with the engineering company that Swartz Creek had hired had gone up for us, and we hadn't been notified. And the location had moved at least 2 times, if not a third, because they wanted to stay away from the intersection at Miller and Dye. We thought they were going to come up to the railroad track, and now it's somewhere in between, closer south.
Yeah, I think they ran into some issues crossing the GM property there. They were worried about with the semis coming in and out of there, having
Right.
vehicles there. And so they changed and decided to go with the crosswalk at Speedway so that they didn't have to have a, what would you say, a portion where it's not regulated by lighting or anything like that. Otherwise, they would have had to put a light there at that turn in to the shop in order to
Accommodate the
with
crossing.
safety.
Accommodate the walk
Yeah,
across.
because the crossing there, they would have had to cross 4 lanes of truck traffic.
Right.
So because we didn't hire that engineering company, it was with Swartz Creek, I just think that we didn't get all the communication
Yeah.
going forward.
Exactly.
Okay, because this says here, we're committed to pay up to 40,000, right? Flint Township?
The DDA.
DDA has
Well,
done
the
40.
DDA.
DDA.
Okay, but then it says, portion, let's see, township portion of the MDOT is another 75,000, and there's 32,000 that's unaccounted for.
So the
And
total,
it's not guaranteed any funding. That's what it says.
is the
right?
total cost estimate 146? Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yes, but about $75,000 is covered by the TAP grant. They're saying it's about it's approximately 75,000, that would be the township portion. 45,000, or 40,000 of that has been committed by DDA to pay for. And if we don't get any funding from the county. So that would leave 35,000 that we would have to cover, either,
Additional.
yeah, 35,000 would be what the township would be responsible for,
35,000.
or the DDA, whoever ends up paying it.
I think, Barb, I think what Barb's saying is, as we all talked about, the 75,000 coming off the top, if we take the 40 grand from DDA, that would leave roughly 31,000. And so are we paying, I thought I had it cleared, now it came back in my head foggy. The 32 that it says not accounted for by other funding sources, is that the 35 that you stated a minute ago that we would
Yeah,
pay, in
I was
essence?
approximating, because originally they told us 150,000,
Okay.
and then it came down to 100, I don't know what it has in here, I'm sorry, I don't have it right in
So
front
the
of me right this
32 would
second.
be that 35, then it's
Right.
not, I was,
Right.
after you said that, I
I
went,
know.
oh, wait, looks like it's 72
Yeah, I
that
think, because
we
I
would.
think it's down to, what, 132,000 now?
And I'm for
According
the
to
trail. I
DDA.
want it connected.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah,
it to
you
keep
just want to
going.
understand the
Right.
dollars, I get it, I
Right,
get it.
but,
Ask
when
about
you
ARPA
see
funds.
That made me foggy also.
not guaranteed,
Yep.
That's a question mark, so.
So Tracy, we have 75,000 for the TAP grant, 40,000 from the DDA. That leaves 35,000 that the township would cover. We can use ARPA grant funds to pay for that, can't we?
Yes, and that's if we don't receive any dollars from the county. We did apply for the county ARPA grant. Actually, last week I submitted one for the trail, one for the facility study, one for the outdoor facilities at the park, for bathroom facilities, one for our servers here, one for backup generators, and the other one was, we had the trail.
Servers. Did you say servers?
She said backup, sir.
The servers.
Servers?
Oh, yes, the cement and sidewalks at the police station that
For
needed repair. That was the
Public
other one.
safety facilities, okay.
Yep.
So, does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. So we have a motion and a second on the table for approving the interlocal agreement. And this is the only thing in this action item that we need to approve, right? Is this
Yes.
resolution? Okay,
Yes.
so if there, any further discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the motion to approve the interlocal agreement for portions of the Genesee Valley Trail Extension and authorize Supervisor Miller and Clerk Triplett to sign the agreement.
Motion approved. Supervisor Miller?
Yes.
Triplet, yes. Mr. Clee?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Burt?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. And so now we have, action item B is the 2022 Poverty Exemption Resolution and Guidelines. It's laid out every year, and every year we have to pass a resolution, approve these. So a motion is in order to move forward, please.
Clee would move to accept the resolution for the 2022 Poverty Exemption Resolution and Guidelines as presented and
There's-
offered by the supervisor.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Campbell, a second.
Any discussions? Questions? And because I didn't put this together, it was the assessor. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Okay, roll call. Triplet, yes. Mr. Clee?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Ms. Burt?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
And Ms. Miller?
Yes. So we move on to action item C, is to fill the fire chief's position. So, where are we at here? When do we start the testing for this? August? This has been an ordeal, only because it hasn't been normal. It's been out of the ordinary because right now, of all the firefighters, most of them are new, right? The group that you hired in with 6 years, the group that you hired in with 3 years,
Yeah, 8 out of the 10 of us have 5 years and less.
got a lot of energy over there. So we did the civil service requirement by offering the test. We have a candidate, and so the issue before us is approving the name from civil service and also approving the employment agreement. Now, bottom line is that we took the old fire chief's contract and had the attorneys update it for the new fire chief, and that's what you have before you. I just laid down a new, an updated contract. It's the same as what you saw before, except
Item B.
Pardon me?
Item B.
3B has changed.
Correct.
So I reviewed this with the attorneys, I reviewed it with chief, I reviewed it with the attorneys, I reviewed it with the personnel committee, I reviewed it with Brett Beckley, and then I reviewed one more time with the personnel committee, and here we are. The only thing that is different from the one that you have and the one I laid out was I changed the date from the 17th to the 18th, because it is the 18th. And the lump sum payment, after chatting with the personnel committee, we felt that just out of respect to do what we did for one chief for the other. So to offer the lump sum of $7,250 in 2022 and $7,000 in 2023. Other than that, you have the exact same contract. And a motion,
And that comes from the ARPA funds.
and that's being paid out of the ARPA funds, not our general fund. And a motion would be in order to move forward on approving this on hiring Brett Beckley to be our next fire chief and approving this employment agreement.
Clee would move to accept the letter as presented to Supervisor Miller from the Civil Service, giving the name of Brett Beckley, and in turn agreeing to the employment agreement with the said change on item 3B, with it effective on the 18th day of January 2022 and swearing in about, can't count, at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
There you go.
You want all that in the motion?
No, just making sure he's on time.
Is there a second to the motion? Support. Any questions, discussion, or comments? Anybody?
Just like to say welcome aboard again. We're really excited, like your disposition and everything that I've seen so far, so I'm really excited for the township. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
So-
We're both excited too.
The one thing I will say, and Assistant Chief Rowley and I kind of see eye to eye, but Chief Salter and you as chief for the fire department, it's going to be tough for me to see eye to eye with you two, unless I carry my milk crate with me. But it's an honor for both of you.
So you came highly recommended it's been more than a summer now, August 2020, by a few people to fill in for retired Assistant Chief Beckley. Boy, that's a tough one. I get Salter and Sippert mixed up. But you came highly recommended, and you did a good job when you filled in for the Assistant Chief's position. How long have you held the Fire Marshal's position?
Since April.
And now, Fire Chief, congratulations. It's well-earned, and you'll do a good job. We have full faith in you. So you can basically say you've done, almost in 1 year, you've done Fire Chief, Assistant Chief, and Fire Marshal. So we'll look forward to that swearing in. Any other comments? Any further discussion? No? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Roll call. So to approve the motion, we need Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Clee?
Yes.
Mrs. Triplett, yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Burt?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations. So we move on to appointments. Pull that up.
I want to make sure everybody knows that they're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Before we move on, Assistant Chief Rowley, you sent out by email information tomorrow. The swearing in is at the fire station.
Yes, ma'am.
At what time?
3 o'clock, and it'll be in the apparatus bay, so there's plenty of room for social distancing. It's going to be cake and appetizers, things like that.
Great. So tomorrow at 3 at the fire station. Great. Thank you very much.
Everyone's
Yeah.
invited, right?
Well, we all got our invitation. Did you?
Public.
Public?
Oh, yes, everyone's invited. Anybody who's interested in coming, yes. So we move on to appointments, and we'll do these one at a time. Let's do board of review. Not a lot of people jump at the chance to do this, serve on the board of review, and we have been given the name of someone who's willing and capable. And so a motion would be in order to appoint Kenyetta Dotson to the Board of Review for a 3-year term. Can I get a motion?
Anderson moves that we appoint Kenyetta Dotson to serve on the Board of Review for a period of 3-year term.
Is there a second to the motion?
Support.
Any further questions or discussion? Can you introduce her to us?
I will, and we're going to have a sworn in as soon as
Okay,
they're
sure.
voted in.
So if there's no further discussion, Madam, I guess all those in favor of approving the appointment of Kenyetta Dotson to the Board of Review signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That stands approved. And then Beecher Road CIA, the supervisor representative, I wrangled Clerk Triplett. She was willing to do it. So a motion would be in order to appoint her as the supervisor representative of the Beecher Road CIA.
Clee would move that we appoint our new clerk, Ms. Manya Triplett, to the supervisor's rep at the Beecher CIA.
Is there a second to the motion?
Campbell, a second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the appointment of clerk triplet to the Beecher Road CIA, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That stands approved. We move on to action item E.
Oh, we have, can we do our, we're going to do our swearing in for Ms. Kenyatta Dotson, she is here.
Sure, we can do
Ms.
that now.
Dotson, you want to come on up? You can go down there.
Are we going to do that now?
Yeah, and I think she wants me to take a picture.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks,
Oh,
Mike.
your family's taking pictures, they got it. No, they're not. That's your family, right? They can stand with you if you like.
And introduce them.
Do some, and you can stand, you can introduce yourself and let us know what you plan to bring to us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for this appointment. For the opportunity. Family's here with me. And my godmother, Mother Beth.
We're glad she waved her hand because we couldn't tell the difference between the mom and the daughters.
I do solemnly swear. I do solemnly. Of the United States. Constitution of this state. The duties of.
So,
Thank you.
Lisa, let me know you already got the information on the trainings. Great. And then your first service commitment is March, right? And if you have any questions, our assessor, Paula Dotson, can help you. Or we'll meet in Lisa's office. Thank you for
Thank you so
serving.
much. Thanks for coming.
So, last item is action item E, is the PACE program agreement. I'm pulling that up now. So this is this a state program? It's to pay-as-you-stay program in your home so that you can stay in your home and not lose it through the county treasurer's office. So let me pull up the resolution. Motion would be in order to approve the resolution, and it's not loading. Is yours loading?
I've got it.
Just go up this. Does anyone want to make the motion to participate in the PACE program in accordance with the revised terms as presented?
Anderson would like to make a motion to participate in the Pay-As-You-Stay PAYS program in accordance with the revised terms as presented. The board had adopted this particular program to participate. Everything falls on the county. We just need to let them know that we want to participate.
And I think the change, the revised change was a difference in the way the payments were going to be made monthly, I think it was. They just wanted to make sure that we were okay with that. So I know we already approved this once, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
Campbell will second.
Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the revised terms of the Genesee County Pay-As-You-Stay program revised on December 29th, 2021, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That stands approved. Number 11, our announcements. Our next meeting is going to be February 2nd. I said, yeah, I was looking at two. I'm sorry, February 7th at 6 PM right here. And if there's no further,
One thing, I have
Yes,
a question.
yes.
At the bottom of our agendas, we always have, like due to COVID, mask wearing, maintain distance, but also that anyone can speak on township matters. I see that's been omitted. Did we change it?
I'm sure it's in one of the older
Got a
agendas.
copy here.
We'll-
You want to leave that or no?
You know what, it may have got, I wonder if it's been getting cut off. I was going to add, because it was,
Is that it?
I would like to see it stay.
For public speaking.
Yes, for public speaking.
Notice about public speaking. We'll look
Somehow
for-
it got cut off on the bottom.
Oh, because we haven't changed anything.
No, we haven't.
it may be getting, like,
You wanna
maybe the
leave that,
last
Barb, with
page
her?
isn't
Yeah.
printing on it or
I'll
something.
show you.
We'll check it. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen it a lot since COVID. So,
I'll check it. It said that they could speak on Township matters, is that what it's?
Relevant to township government issues, right.
Okay,
And it's not a debate, blah, blah, blah.
okay. If, you
It
know
was
what?
on January 3rd. It is not on anything for this meeting.
Okay, so if I can look on January 3rd, then I can see what you're talking about, yeah. Because we haven't changed anything since January 3rd, so I'll look and see what
And
happened.
if you look at the agenda tonight, right at the beginning, you can see where, you're right, Barb, it's cut right, the last two, I thought it was the last
Oh,
two
you
sentences
know
are
what?
cut off.
When we printed that, we just, for you guys, we just printed page 1. So it's probably on page 2.
I was gonna say if there wasn't any further business, but we forgot to do yours, and you didn't say anything.
Oh, let's just skip that part.
No. I also added Chief Salters only because,
Right.
we did a couple of updates, like we took out, when you first started, the word probationary was on there.
Right.
And, I'm just clarifying for all our trustees, there's no raise included in here, is there, Chief Salter?
There's not.
No raise. I'm sure you wouldn't mind, but there is no raise. And then we added the language that COAM has for their retiree health. We added that to yours so that it's the same. And then we also added your lump sum payments from the ARPA funds. So to update Chief Salter's employment agreement, a motion would be in order.
We would move that we accept the employment agreement for the update to Chief Salter for 2022.
Campbell will second.
Is there any further discussion? Any questions? So roll call, please, Madam Clerk, on approving
Yeah.
Chief Salter's employment agreement?
Okay. We have Ms. Campbell?
Yes.
Yes. Mrs. Burt?
Yes.
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Triplett, yes, and Mr. Clee?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now I don't think there's any further business, and without objection, we'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
No, it says 6 months. Right.